Chat, we're finally back with episode number 30 of the Hitters Meetings. We are covering the Washington Nationals this episode. I apologize for not doing one against the Mets. I was extremely tired after I got back from Baltimore from driving 20 hours over the weekend, and I was being lazy. I'm sorry. So, as per usual, I have my compadre here. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, and you don't need to really apologize because we would have missed on anything we probably guessed. We didn't hit the ball, but it is the Matt Olson of hip coils, so maybe this is the one that's going to turn us around because he is our best player. So maybe this is the time we get going right.
God, I hope so, man. We've been boy, has the offense been stinky here lately. We're going to do it a little bit differently. You're not going to get any video of the pitchers because, my God, you guys know the Washington National pitchers at this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up the box scores from their latest one against the Braves, and we're going to kind of show you what they did against us last. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with well, I don't want to do Foster. Hang on. Let me get the correct pitcher up here real quick.
We want Foster. That's what
I do want Foster. I don't want to do him first. There he is, Mr. Jake Irvin, chat. And as y'all know, he absolutely just shoves it up our rear end every single start. His last start against the Braves, before he went on the injury list, I may add, 5 innings pitched, no runs, 1 walk, 7 punch outs on 80 pitches, Ken. And as you can see on the pitch breakdown right here, chat, he threw 49% curveballs. We cannot hit a curveball. His curveball's below average. He had 40% whiffs on that bad boy. So that tells you we can't hit the breaking ball. He has a four-seamer that he threw 36% of the time. He threw 29 four-seam fastballs, 9 sinkers, and 3 changeups. So it was pretty much four-seam fastball and curveball, Ken. So if you're seeing that and you're seeing, well, he shoved it up our rear ends, what are you telling the guys?
What's funny, as far as my hitters, I'm going to tell them, we have got to be able to hit the curveball. His numbers suggest his curveball is not lights out, so we should not have that many whiffs. The funny thing happens when these teams play each other. Sometimes the pitcher can overthink himself. Now, look, as his pitching coach, I'm going to tell Jake Irvin, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Go throw curveballs. But sometimes pitchers get tricky. So I would tell my hitters, be rare. We might see a little bit more sinker usage this game just because he may think you're not going to be looking for it. It'll be an interesting chess match, but if I'm his pitching coach, I'm saying, Jake, you keep throwing curveballs until they hit it.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that if I was the pitching coach. And if I'm the hitting coach or game plan, and this is what we got to go up against, I would probably – and you can't pull anything from his last few starts, Ken, because guess what? He's been hurt. So this is one of his – I think this was his last big league start before he went on the injured list. So this is what we're going to go off of if I'm the hitting coach. And we're going to go over here and we're going to pull up the pitch plot on him. And as you can see, he lived down and away from right-handed hitters on the curveball and back-footed it to a good bit of the lefties. You can see he tried to paint the fastball up here at the top of the strike zone, but it is mainly the breaking ball down there and fastball at the top of the zone. So that's what I'm hunting for if I'm a right-handed hitter. I'm hunting the fastball at the top shelf. I'm hunting the breaking ball that hangs. I don't want the one that starts, middle of the plate that's going to fall off the plate. I want the ball that starts above the zone that breaks down into the middle of it. With 2 strikes, you got to do what you got to do. But anything that starts in the zone and starts breaking away, I'm taking it. Really, anything that starts in the zone and breaks, I'm taking it until I get 2 strikes because I want the fastball up. Lefties is kind of the same approach with you guys. I mean, if we go back here and we look at it, he did pretty much the same thing against you guys. It wasn't like he did anything crazy. He threw 19 curveballs to you, 19 fastballs and 25 breaking balls, and the only other pitch he threw to you was a changeup, and he only threw 3 of them. So you're going to get the same daggum thing. So my approach for both my hitters, righty or lefty, fastball up in the strike zone, get the hanging breaking ball. Don't chase anything that starts in the zone and starts breaking because it's probably going to be a ball. Middle backside, really try to stay big part of the field, drive it back up the middle, see the ball deep into the strike zone. He doesn't have a fastball that's going to overpower you guys. You can sit comfortably with your direction to right center field, and if he hangs a breaking ball, you'll be able to pull it out of the ballpark. It's not a rocket science game plan. Ken, what you think?
No, we've said it over and over for him. It seems like we're banging our head against the table. Hit this guy middle backside. That's what you do against any good curveball pitcher. And guess what? This series, we get 4 of them. That's going to give us a chance to hit the ball middle backside. And right now, to be honest with you, we probably only have 2 hitters going the other way, and that's Drake Baldwin is one of them. The rest of them have got to hit the ball middle backside. If not, he's going to have the same success. This, like you said, it's not rocket science, guys. We've got to get into good approaches.
And that's what we've been struggling with. All right, now if I can pull Foster back up, because I think he starts in game 2, right, Ken?
Correct.
Yeah, he starts in game 2. So his last outing against us, you're going to see a common theme with these guys. They just shove it up our rear ends, man. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts on 90 pitches, Ken. And as you can see, he kind of throws the kitchen sink, right? Cutter, fastball, sweeper, changeup. His curveball, thank God he only threw 9 of them. I don't know what we would have done if he threw any more curveballs. Probably been a way worse line. He throws a sinker, but he only threw it 5 times. He throws a splitter, but he only threw that 3 times. So the main pitches I would worry about would be his changeup, sweeper, fastball, and cutter. His curveball kind of seems to be a secondary pitcher. Get me over, Ken. So if you're the hitting coach, what are you telling these guys to look at?
The one thing we did well is he got his pitch count up. 90 pitches in 6 innings. I would do that. I would also say he throws the kitchen sink. So we can't go in there and think we're going to get the cutter, because he may decide besides cutter this time, he may go heavy changeup usage or something like that. So it'll be interesting on how to approach. This middle backside guy, you got to hit him. He has pitched great every time he's faced us. He can't throw the ball by us. He cannot do that. But what he does is by throwing all the pitches, he does get the ball by us. And so we got to always be sitting middle backside. And if we do sit middle backside, we should be able to still hit the fastball when he throws it.
So we're going to break it down a little bit. For lefties, it's just going to be quicker. So for the left-handers, they saw 18 total pitches. This is what that means. They saw 18 total pitches, so 2 of them were cutters, 7 of them were four-seamers, 6 of them were sweepers, and you had 1 curveball and 2 sinkers. So you're predominantly going to see four-seam and sweeper, so that would be the tunnel that I would be hunting. So again, fastball, I would probably start inside corner to middle of the plate. You want that ball up because you can identify the ball that's up. And if you get it up, then you can stay middle backside, really drive it. The sweeper, you want it to start at you, and that will allow it to break back over to the middle of the plate where you can really do some damage against it. If anything, again, starts in the strike zone and it breaks away, until you get to 2 strikes, just take it. There's no need to swing at it. The cutter, he only threw 2 pitches. So until he really establishes the cutter against you, I really wouldn't worry about it. He's going to be four-seam sweeper to you left-handers, so that's the pitches that I would really be concerned with. Right-handers, you're going to see everything. He threw the cutter a good bit. He threw the four-seamer a good bit. Between those 2 pitches, he threw, 41 times out of 72. That's a good percentage. He only threw 7 sweepers. He threw 10 changeups. He threw 8 curveballs. So, again, he really divvies it up for you guys. For me, as a right-handed hitter, it's always easier to read spin. So I really wouldn't be hunting the sweeper tunnel because I can identify spin along with the curveball. So I would be hunting more of that fastball changeup window. So, again, you kind of want the ball to start middle and up. That'll keep you on the fastball and changeup. And the only sweepers that you really want to swing at, or the curveball, for God, I know we hate the curveball. The only ones we really want to swing at are going to be the ones that start above the strike zone, kind of pop out of the hand, that fall into the middle part of the plate. Again, if it starts in the strike zone and it starts breaking into you as a right-handed hitter, take it until you get 2 strikes. Because, look, if it's a cutter, you can identify a cutter. It's got a little bit more zip on it. The sweeper's slow and the curveball's slow, and you can identify that spin. So if it's one of those 2 pitches that you know it's a breaking ball and it's coming into you and it starts in the strike zone, take it. Cutter, if it's up, you're going to be able to drive that ball into the gap as well. So get the ball up in the strike zone, middle backside, really think your right center field direction, and you're going to have success. Make sure you get the ball up in the strike zone, though. Anything that starts, mid-thigh and below, take it. There's no need in swinging anything low. Get him to get the ball up. And if we want to really get into it, we can look here at the pitch plot. he gets the ball up in the strike zone. You can see it right there. A lot of the pitches are up middle and up. He does paint the bottom, but those are the pitches you're going to have to let go, because if you're swinging at those, you have no chance against him, especially with the curveball and the sweeper that are going to die below the strike zone, as you can see. So get it up in the strike zone, and you're going to have a good chance to do some damage. He has good command. He has good stuff, but it's not elite stuff, in my opinion. And if you get him up, it flattens out, and then you can do some damage. What you think, Ken?
Yeah, I mean, his numbers, his savant numbers tell everybody. They drive savant people crazy because he only has one kind of elite pitch, and it's the cutter. So let's go to Mario Rivera, best cutter pitcher ever in the history of baseball. Only threw one pitch. The guys who hit the ball middle backside, Luis Gonzalez of the Diamondbacks, gave him fits in the World Series because all Luis tried to do is hit the ball over the shortstop's head. And he had knocked in the winning run in the Diamondbacks' winning series, and he always still to this day says he knew he was in trouble. Because the reason why is if you wait on the cutter to middle of the backside, it automatically takes you over the shortstop's head or over the second baseman's head. So please, Braves, middle backside against Foster Griffin. And you know what? Let's just try to at least score one run against this guy.
Yeah, combined of these first two starting pitchers in 11 innings, we've scored no runs against them. So we're not off to a good start. But, guys, if you get the ball up in the strike zone, you're going to have a good chance against this guy, especially if you're hunting that fastball changeup window, because even if he throws the cutter in that window, you're going to be able to identify it and still get around on it. So I wouldn't be worried about the cutter too much. But for the love of God, just get it up. Don't chase stuff low. You're going to be okay. Moving on to the next cat. Let's see who we got coming in. Cade Cavalli. I think he is game 4. He's the last starter, right? We'll go ahead and knock him out for game 4. Ken, he, as you can see, went 5 innings, 10 strikeouts against us, and gave up 2 runs. We did get 7 hits though, Ken. It's been a common theme. We're not scoring a whole lot, and we're striking out a lot against these guys. So, what you got on Mr. Cade, real quick?
As we mentioned in the recap briefly, he is the guy who has mixed results because he does actually have good stuff. He throws the ball pretty well, but he has a high whip percentage for a reason. So he is very hittable. I think his whip this year is over 1.6 or whatever. You probably know the exact number, but so we should put runners on base. You cannot have strikeouts. That's the key. Is look how the pitch count's way up. So that tells you he has some wildness to it. 85 pitches in 5 innings. So we did a good job of that. What we didn't do a good job of, I can look at these numbers, is probably finishing at bats. So 3-2 counts, we probably didn't finish them all. We probably got in some bad situations, swung at bad pitches, out of the strike zone, so be willing to take the walk in those counts. If I remember the game right, I think I texted you, Ryan, saying, why do we keep swinging at so many ball fours? We had a lot of ball four strikeouts. I know you're going to put up the pitch clock, but I think that's what happened.
Yeah, and he has our arch nemesis, the knuckle curveball. Any curveball, apparently. This guy had a 46% whiff rate on his curveball against us. We had 6 whiffs out of the 13 curveballs that he threw against us that we decided to swing at. So let's go ahead and take a look at that pitch plot. As you can see, just like Ken said, he does have some middle, but look how many pitches are outside the strike zone. That's at least a good 50-60% of the pitches outside the strike zone here. Not many, and I'll keep it a buck, there weren't many hittable ones, and he did a pretty decent job painting the bottom of the zone, but you got to make him paint the bottom of the zone, because if you're going to expand low, you're going to start chasing the breaking balls. So let's go back to the pitch data right here. Well, not the pitch data, but the player breakdown. So for the lefties, he threw 34% four-seam fastball, 36% knuckle curve, 19% sinker. That's kind of surprising against lefties. And then he threw only 6 changeups for a 10% clip. For righties, 30% sweeper, 30% sinker, 15% knuckle curve, 26% four-seam. So he threw the entire kitchen sink against both guys. So Ken, for me personally, I would be hunting the fastball and the curveball window, in my opinion, because that seems to be what he feels really comfortable with. And I would, if I'm a left-handed hitter, I want the four-seam fastball to kind of start up, out over the middle of the plate, and I don't want it to start anywhere any lower than the high thigh. I want that ball to start up, and the knuckle curve, I want it to start well above the strike zone. Because if I remember correctly, his knuckle curve breaks a lot, and if it starts even at the top of the strike zone, it's going to fall below. So you really want that thing to pop out of the hand. And if you see it start way above the zone, it's probably going to fall right into the top of the zone, and you can barrel that thing as a left-handed hitter, and you can do some damage. Four-seam fastball, he's got a good one. It's got some good life. As you can see, he averages 97 miles an hour, but you can get on top of it, especially if you're sitting up on the top part of the strike zone and you're not worried about the bottom. You cannot expand low, especially if you're lefty. He's going to eat you up with his curveball. He's going to eat you up with the changeup, and his changeup was his best pitch this game, and he barely even threw it. So you got to keep that in mind as well. You got to get the ball up because that makes the changeup a whole lot more hittable. If you start chasing the fastball low in the zone, he can eat you up with both the curveball and the changeup. So right-handed hitters, you're going to see a lot more of the – you're going to see a lot of the variety. So you're going to see the sinker and four-seamer about the same clip, and you're going to see the sweeper away. So if I'm you guys, again, you want a really tight, narrow window. So you want to see the four-seamer and sinker kind of start outer third to the middle. You don't want to – you really want to give up the inside part of the plate because if he's going to throw 97 sink in on your hands – that's going to be really hard to get your barrel around. And two of our big bats who are struggled this year, Ronald and Riley, you're not hitting velocity, so just give up the inside part of the plate. Sit middle away. The only sweeper that we want to swing at, again, is going to be the one that kind of pops out of the hand, that starts at the top of the strike zone at you, and it'll fall over the middle of the plate. If it starts in the fastball window and it breaks away, take it. It's not going to be a strike. The only one that's going to be a strike is going to be starting at you, and that's the one that you can do damage on. So I would be hunting the four-seam fastball sinker window and then the hanging sweeper. I wouldn't worry about the curveball. Again, curveball's got to start way above the zone. It'll be easily readable. You can't let it catch you by surprise, though, because if you do that, that's just an easy get-me-over strike. And then if you start chasing the one that starts in the zone, it's going to fall below the zone. So, again, any breaking ball needs to be up above the strike zone at you for it to be a very hittable pitch or even to be a strike. And the fastball, you got to hunt at the top part of the zone, middle part of the plate to the outer third. So, Ken, that is what I got on Mr. Cade Cavalli. You got anything else of words of wisdom for these guys?
No, and I'm not surprised that he tried to use the knuckle curve a lot against our left-handed hitters. Try to get them off balance because our left-handed hitters do a good job of most of the time hitting the ball middle backside. So,
yeah, he really liked back-footing it there. All right, last pitcher. This guy is going to throw game 3. I don't know how he's still in the big leagues, but apparently it's just to give the Braves nightmares, and that is Mr. Miles Michaelis. Ken, what you got on Mr. Miles Michaelis?
just like Jake Irvin, he owns us for some reason, and I can't figure out why. His stuff is below average, really, overall. And he used to be really good when he could throw a little harder than he does now. But he's a smart pitcher. So if he sees you trying to do certain things, he can pitch against it. This is the one guy, if we had great approaches middle backside, he would probably switch the second time through the order. The rest of them probably won't. So we got to play cat and mouse with him and try to hit him. And he tries to throw that sinker coming at us. We need to hit it. I mean, that's the pitch we got to hit. It's below average sinker, so do damage. But there's another guy who had shutouts. So between the 4 starting pitchers, we scored 2 runs in what was that? 21 innings. That's terrible.
It is not very good. I'll keep it a buck with you. So, as you can see, I'll be honest, I'm surprised he didn't throw more sinkers inside right here to our right-handers because this is all the pitches that he did throw. So he was more kind of middle down. He didn't really elevate the ball, which was one of my big keys. He got us to expand low and away, as you can see down in here. So I am kind of surprised in that. We will see how he approaches it this game, but I would imagine that it wouldn't be a completely off the plate where he would start busting the sinker inside. So for me, I will start with the righties this go round. So as you can see, he split it up evenly between the sinker and 4-seamer. So for me, you got to get the ball up and away. So you want it to start outer third to the middle, and you want it up. I don't necessarily want it to start on the outside corner or way off the plate, just because he can run the slider away off that tunnel, because the slider's a really tight spinning breaking pitch, and can be a little bit harder to read. So you want to keep that fastball on the plate, outer third to middle. He doesn't throw with elite velocity, so 91 sink inside is not like Cavalli's where it's 95, 96. You can kind of still get around on 91, or at least send it back out to right center field or center field, even if you get jammed. So fastball up, out over the plate. And the other pitch that I would really be worried about if I was a right-handed hitter would probably be the slider and the curveball. And you want both of those pitches to start in the same window. You want it to start above the strike zone, inside off of the plate. That's going to fall right into the middle part of the zone. If you see the ball starting in the strike zone and it starts breaking away from you, please just take it until you get 2 strikes. I mean, who is going to be sitting on sometimes you're going to sit on an 0-0 breaking ball, but I'm not sitting on an 0-0 breaking ball. I'm not sitting on an 0-1 breaking ball. So I'll get to 2 strikes and I'll battle it off when I'm with 2 strikes, but I'm taking a breaker unless it's a hanger where it's above, where it starts above and it falls right in. That's the one that I want. 0-0, 0-1, 1-0, whatever the count is. So fastballs out over the plate, up, breaking balls starting above the zone that are going to hang right down in the middle of it, and I think you're going to be good. The key is, though, Ken, get him up in the strike zone. If you're going to start chasing low, it's going to be a really long day for you right-handed hitters. Lefties, he throws a lot more, well, not a lot more. He throws a couple more sinkers, still pretty even split between the sinker and four-seamer. He throws slider, curveball, and changeup all at the same clip to you guys. So for me, as a left-hander, I think it's easier to handle the ball coming into you as opposed to away. So the slider and curveball, again, it would kind of be the same window. Starts above the zone. You want the hanger that will fall into the middle of the plate. The fastball, I would be hunting the fastball, sinker, and changeup window. So all those pitches kind of work together. So you want that ball to start kind of inner third. I would say to the outer third, and you want it to start up. That way, if it starts in that zone and you can see the tailing away from you, it'll still be out over the plate. You'll still be able to make an adjustment and drive that ball down into the left center field gap. So again, you're going to hear it a lot. Get the ball up in the strike zone, and you will have a really good opportunity to do some damage against this guy. But if he paints the bottom of the zone, it's going to be a long day at the office like it was last time. I don't anticipate that being the case, but make sure you get the ball up in the zone. If you get it up, don't miss it. That's what I got on Mr. Miles Michaelis, Ken.
Yep, sounds good. That's what we got to do. I mean, we got to get him up because that's what most sinker baller pitchers are. You got to get the ball up.
100%. So we're done with the starting pitchers now. We are moving on to the bullpen. There are a couple interesting guys in here, and we're going to start with one of them, Ken, Mr. Andrew Alvarez. What do you have on Mr. Alvarez?
I like him. I think he can be a decent pitcher, sinker, slider guy. He's got a good arm. I'm interested in your take on him. I'm not sure if we did one on him before. We might have, but he's a really good pitcher. Their bullpen's terrible, but these 2 guys are interesting.
Yeah, so we did do them on the last one. This is the very first one where, like, their bullpen's terrible. Nobody really interests us. We're not going to do it. This time we found a couple guys that were interesting, and I think one of them just came up. I can't remember if it was Alvarez or Rebalta, but either way, they're both still there. You got so for Mr. Alvarez, he has the dreaded curveball, slider, sinker, and four-seamer. He attacks left-handed hitters with the sinker and slider. Every once in a while, he'll throw the four-seam up above the zone and try to get him to chase. He attacks right-handers primarily with curveballs and sliders and with the occasional four-seamer, so he kind of works backwards to righties. Kind of makes sense because we can't hit curveballs or sliders anyway this year. Lefties, our approach, you're going to hunt the sinker. The only slider you're going to want to swing at early in the count is going to be the one that starts at you and off the plate inside above the zone. He will try to keep, well, it would be away off of the zone. That's where the breaking ball needs to start. He will try to keep the sinker away from you as well. His sinker doesn't run horizontally much, but it has really good depth. You want it to start a little off of the plate, inside to you to start middle of the plate to the belly button high. You need to have the mindset of driving the ball into the opposite field gap. So again, have the sinker start in on you where it can run back out over the plate and really drive it middle backside. Get it up, Get the breaking ball up, get the fastball up in the strike zone, and you should have pretty good success against him. Right-handers, you're going to hunt the hanging off speed pitch. He's going to come at you with the slider and curveball, so you might as well look for it. With 2 strikes, sit heater and adjust to the hanger, the breaking ball. You'll have it start above the zone in order for it to be a strike. The fastball won't beat you unless you chase it high and out of the strike zone. So again, get the ball up, and you're going to have a really good chance to do some damage against him. We're moving on to Mr. Ribalta now, Ken. Mr. Orlando Ribalta. What do you have on that cat?
He's got one of these arms. He throws a lot for them. Alvarez was the guy who's just been brought up. Ribalta's been there. He pitches a lot. Matter of fact, he might have just pitched all 3 games in their series against Toronto. He's a good pitcher. He's going to kind of be more like a starting pitcher. He throws a lot of different stuff, so he's not like your average reliever. I was trying to think of somebody we have like in our bullpen, and we don't really have anybody like this either, like throws multiple pitches. So I think he's some guy you can throw against right-hand and left-handers. You may not, so I'm interested to see what you say about Mr. Ribalta.
So he has a 4-seamer, a sinker, a slider, and a changeup. His fastball averages 97 miles an hour. Slider has tight spin with a sharp and quick late break, so he's got a really good tight slider. He attacks left-handed hitters with a fastball at the top of the zone and tries to get them with a back foot slider or a changeup down and away. Righties, he likes to attack with a fastball at the top of the zone, sinker inside, and a slider down and away for the chase pitch. So, again, you got the nice little triangle with both of those approaches as a pitcher, which is really, really tough as a hitter. So our approach as a lefty is to hunt the fastball and changeup window, and you want the ball to start belt high and over the middle of the plate. So inner third to outer third. The only slider that you would want to swing at is going to be the one that pops out of the hand. That's a hanger. It's going to start away off the plate, break down into the middle part of the plate where you can do damage on it. This is going to help you keep the fastball while being able to adjust to the changeup hanging or down in the zone and the hanging slider. So again, keep that really hunt that fastball and changeup window. That's going to keep you on everything. And if you see the hanging slider, you'll be able to adjust to that pretty quickly. Righties, we're going to hunt the sinker. You want the ball to start off of the plate away to the outside corner and belly button to belt high. If you see the ball breaking away on you on that tunnel, take it because it's going to be the ball. The only slider you want to swing at is going to be the one that starts at you and above the zone. And you really need to sit right center field against this guy because you're going to see a lot of sinkers and sliders. So that'll help you keep your direction to right center field, and you'll be able to adjust to the sinker away, driving it the other way. And if you get a slider that hangs, you'll be able to pull it into the left center field gap. So again, you're going to hear it all series. Get the ball up in the strike zone, because if you do that, you got a really good chance. It's funny how organizations really structure their pitching staff. Certain organizations really like certain pitchers, and the Nationals seem to like guys who have cutters, sinkers, sliders, changeups, curveballs, a lot of stuff that moves, not too much velocity. So that was very interesting. Ken, do you have anything else on Mr. Ribalta?
I don't, other than the fact that Blake Buter is the youngest manager in baseball, former catcher, and because of that, he goes strictly matchups. So Alvarez, Olson, Baldwin, all of that, get ready for Alvarez. And if you're Austin Riley, for the love of God, please study Ribalta, because you're getting Ribalta late in games. That's it.
100%. It's a 4-game set. We have 4 starters. So Ken, I'm interested to see how you think we do this weekend. What's your series prediction?
Split. And I'd be glad if we get a split out of this, to be honest with you. I will say this: if we take 3 out of 4 because of their bullpen, that one of those wins will be a walk-off bottom of the ninth where they blow a game. Just a thought. But I think split.
I'm right there with you. I'd be very happy with the split. 3 out of 4 is going to come because their bullpen screwed up, and that's been a really big problem for the Nationals. They can score a shit ton of runs, but they damn sure can't hold a lead here recently, and that's why they're not a playoff team right now. So, Ken, we have not been hitting on our picks to click lately. I whiffed big time on mine, and I'm never picking him again. So, Austin Riley, you're off my freaking pick to click list. You're done, period, the end. Ken, who you got? Who's your pick to click?
I had mixed results on mine for the Orioles. I had Matt Olson, so not terrible, but not great. I'm going to the guy that I know will hit the ball middle backside. I'm cheating this week. I'm going Drake Baldwin. The one guy I know will hit the ball middle backside. Drake, make me look like a genius and pick to click because we need a good pick to click this week.
Ken, I'm going with the other guy who's going to hit middle backside. You know who it is?
Money.
Money Mike, baby. Money Mike's going to be my pick to click because he can hit the ball middle backside, and I think he does pretty well against. Oh no, he does. He owns the Washington Nationals. When Michael Harris sees the Washington Nationals jersey, he hits the next level. So I'm going Michael Harris the second as my pick to click. Me and Ken both are predicting a split, and if it's 3 out of 4, we're both saying it's because the Nationals bullpen blew a game that they had. And with that being said, chat, I hope you like this way that we did it. I got bored doing it the same way over and over again. My God, it's so hopefully you enjoyed the TJ stats and the breakdown stuff with that. But if you guys like the video, please leave a like down below and a comment down below and tell us what you liked about it. If you like this new style, and also let us know what trade you're wanting to see, man, because it's trade season. I'm tired of it being trade season. I want the deadline over and done with, so I know what we're working with. Ken, what is your final thought, my friend?
Alumni weekend. Y'all take it in. It's going to be fun. Andrew Jones bobblehead Thursday night. That's the night you're watching the show. Get there. Be big crowds all weekend. A lot of the alumni come back. Greg McMichael does a great job of bringing everybody in. Take advantage. They're going to give autographs. I've heard Andrew's going to try to do it all 4 days, so try to meet Andrew in the ballpark. He's a very happy man making the Hall of Fame. And again, tip of the hat, Andrew, you deserve it.
100% he deserved it. It was the best defensive center fielder to ever play the game. You can argue with a brick wall. Willie Mays said he was the best that he ever saw. So that tells you all you need to know about that dude. So we're done, chat. Hopefully the Braves win 2 out of 4 or even 3 out of 4 on this Hall of Fame weekend for Andrew and give him a nice, happy homecoming. Hopefully Ronald breaks out. Hopefully Riley can get back on track because he looked kind of cute. Now he looks like a dead walrus out there right now. So we're out of here, chat. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.